Williams. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! This is the card for this week. It's made with Traveler, and the greeting inside is from Oh My Goodies. I'm using Lost Lagoon and Memento Black for the inks. The card base is very vanilla, 5.5 and 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and a piece of Lost Lagoon, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I have scraps of Very Vanilla and Basic Black. I also have a 1 by 4.5 inch piece of Designer Series paper from Going Places, the paper stack that's 6 by 6. I'm using the 2 and the 2.5 inch circle punch and some of my candy dots. And last but not least, I'm using the World Traveler folder. I'm using this both for embossing and for stamping. Let me show you what I mean. This is a bit messy, so I'm bringing in an extra piece of paper. And I'm using the Lost Lagoon stamping pad, and I'm opening it up. And you will notice that there's a finger area and also a rounded area. I'm going to use this side. I'm using this to ink the folder. Concentrating on the parts around the continents, the ocean. There will be some ink that will be deposited on the continents. Not to worry, it will be fine. I've got kind of a straight edge where there's more ink here. I want to avoid that, so I want to kind of stamp that over. You can use the brayer if you'd like, and that will avoid some of that. Once you have finished inking it, you may want to take out some of this extra ink. It will still show. You can also use a tissue to get maybe a little bit more of the ink off. When you place your cardstock, it's going to be easiest to place it here where you can kind of see where it's going. You can even look on the back and see exactly where it's going, and then just close the folder. Now, if you don't have a big shot, you can actually just rub on here and do a little bit of stamping with the folder. Let me see if I can show you that. But I'm going to emboss it, so I'm bringing in my platform, tab 1, and a plate and another plate. So I've got my basic sandwich, and I'll run this through the Big Shot. And there's my stamped and embossed image. To clean this, you just stick it under the faucet in the sink and run water over it. Let it dry, and you're set to go again. For my card, I used the ship. You could also use the train for the same card. In fact, I think I'll use the train. I'm going to use my Memento Black ink, and I'm going to stamp this in the middle of the Very Vanilla. And I'm actually going to stamp this a second time because I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing this card. The first way is, I've heard this called out of the box, and I'm just going to punch a scrap of any color paper. I'm centering this on my image the best I can, and I'm going to lightly, very lightly, draw around the vanilla parts of the image. Then I'm going to take my snips and cut into it. I probably don't need to cut into that, but I do want to cut in here and here, and I probably need to cut these apart a little bit here. I'm actually going to fold these parts up. I don't need to do a hard crease, but I do need to be able to get those inside my punch. And this might be a little more difficult here. I'm going to slide these into my punch. And I'm going to pull those parts up. so that I can still see that line I drew, and just punch. Erase the lines that you drew so that they don't show, and just do this tiny bit of fussy cutting around the edges. I am going to punch a 2.5-inch circle. Again, I'm going to show you the 2 ways, so I need 2 circles. And that second way, instead of fussy cutting, I'm just going to get the image centered as best I can. And then put this on my 2.5 circle. For the one that sticks out, you want to get some of your adhesive on that part that sticks out so that it helps to hold it down where we folded it. And so it goes beyond the border. So I have this one going beyond. This one's easier. Just going to glue my embossed and stamped image on my card front. Just going to flag the ends. Since we're going to be covering this up, even if it gets creased, it's okay. And one way is to cut down the middle and then in from the corners to that middle. And center this here. You could certainly use dimensionals, and you could use dimensionals here as well, but I'm just going flat. And you can place this anywhere. I think I want a little bit more of the continents showing there. Add a few of the candy dots, and really any of these colors would look just fine. My greeting on the inside, I'm using Live Well, Laugh Hard, Love Big, right in the middle. Let me show you again with the boat. And then this is the one that I used. This is just using the folder as a stamp. Simple cut here. That makes this a very simple card. But I think that the overall effect is lovely just the same. So come on over to bevadams.com. You can buy the Stamp Set Traveler or see if any of the retirement products are still available. I also have a frequent shopper rewards program where you can earn free products. I would be honored to be your demonstrator. Talk to you soon. Bye.